morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to take a look at all of the illustration rares and all of the special illustration rares that are coming around in Surging Sparks. We don't yet have nice, full, clear images of all of them in English. I'm sorry. Wait. No, we don't. But we do have a lot of them. I think we've got most of them at this stage, and that means we can have a good old look at them. Sound like a plan? Excellent. So what we're going to be going and having a little bit of a look at here then is going in some vague kind of order, which is essentially the couple of sets we've had, Paradise Dragona and then into Super Electric Breaker. So starting off then, we've got ourselves an Execute. And I need to show you here that the Execute and the Alolan Executor are actually by the same artist. They both show basically playing around on a basketball court. And my favourite thing about the Execute here is that they're all just doing different stuff. They've all got their own personality. This makes me happy. We've got ourselves a Shinotic here that is... I mean, look at it. It's shining and all of that. Not one of my favourites, but still a cool card. We've got a Vivian, which is by Rend, which means it looks pretty realistic. Some people are going to think this is awesome. Some people are going to be less of a fan of this. I think it's fine whichever way you look at it. I've also changed my mind, and we're going to try and go by typing here. We've got Cast Form Sunny Form, which is awesome, and it is a card whereby you see all of the different forms of Cast Form on one card, which always makes me very, very happy. We've got a Larvesta, just kind of sitting having a snooze, honestly, which is, all right. It's Larvesta doing its thing. It's not one of my favourites, but it's still pretty cool. We have got ourselves a Ceruledge. Now, this is by a new artist, which, interestingly enough, is by Rond, not Rend, Rond, and this is kind of cool. It's a very unique kind of style, and it's one that I kind of like a lot, honestly. This one's very, very nice. We've got ourselves Feebas. Now, Feebas, we need to look at this in conjunction with Milotic, because now, I've argued with a lot of people about this. They look like they make a pair. They're by the same artist. Thematically, they match perfectly. But if you actually put them one on top of the other, you'll notice that the plants in the middle don't quite match up. It's not one picture, but it is very, very close. And thematically, it is absolutely lovely. We've got ourselves a Spheal here. And that the Spheal is just wonderful. I adore this Spheal because there's a whole bunch of different ones. And, as you look, you see more of them. You've got the one falling in the water in the middle. You've got the ones that are randomly asleep. The one just sitting in the water there judging you. And then you notice the one at the front out of focus, a little bit terrifying. And I just think this Spheal is lovely. We've got ourselves a Bruxish. Not sure who wanted a Bruxish illustration rare, but we've got one. And to be fair, it is by Mitsuhiro Arita, who is just an absolute master of Pokemon TCG artwork. So it's hard to be too upset about that. And then we got ourselves a Satitan. This is one of my favourite ones in the set. I love this Satitan by Jerky. And there's just randomly a bunch of Whalmer swimming around at the bottom of that tiny little cliff. I don't know why there's a bunch of Whalmer swimming around, but I kind of love that there is. Now, moving over into Lightning here, remember there is a Magneton. However, the Magneton is part of our Elite Trainer Box. It is our Elite Trainer Box promo for the set. So we are technically getting it in Surging Sparks, but we're not actually getting it in Surging Sparks. It's not going to be something you can pull from a pack. It's actually the most expensive, valuable, sought after, phrase it how you will, of all of these over in Japan. And it's very playable and all of that, and it's Shinji Kanda and it's lovely, but remember, you cannot pull it from a pack. It's only in the Elite Trainer Box. We've also got a Stunfisk who, frankly, looks like he's tired of being stepped on, and I find it hard to judge him for that, honestly, because I would be tired of being stepped on after a while. One of the few we don't, unfortunately, yet have an English image of. Most of them we do, like I've said, but we're subbing in some Japanese images where we have to. Now, Latios is one of my absolute favourites from the set. Firstly, it's got wonderful Okacheke artwork, which makes me very happy indeed. But secondly, it makes a pair with the Latias, and this is one image. Literally one image that's just been chopped in half to give us two different cards, and I absolutely adore it, and it's wonderful. If you want to get both halves of this image, though, you need to remember that the Latias, as we're going to talk about in a minute, is an extremely playable card, which a lot of people are going to want for their decks. So, yeah. It's going to be probably the third most expensive card in the set. It's not going to be the easiest one to pick up. You have been warned. And the other psychic one here is actually another one that I absolutely adore. It is the Hayaganosuke Mesprit. I adore Hayaganosuke's artwork, so this is one I want very much indeed. And while we're talking about ones I love, how about Fanpy? This is, of course, the one that I was lucky enough to be able to reveal from the set. It's Fanpy jumping around in a field of Donphan. I mean, yeah, this card is just absolutely perfect for me. I love it. We've also got ourselves a Vibrava here, which is, I don't know, something about this card. I really, really enjoy the artwork. And we've also got Clobberpuss, which is the second card we've ever had by Uzgman, who is the best follow on Twitter. Oh, well, James actually as well. But still, there's a couple of phenomenal artists. Uzgman's one of them. And yeah, just wonderful artwork. So glad to see that they are back. Over in metal, we've got ourselves an Alolan Dugtrio, which are just chilling on the beach. I love it. This is just a lovely artwork that makes me very happy. And then we've got Skarmory, which is by Takumi Wada, the Zelda artist, who came over to the Pokemon TCG, and this is another phenomenal piece of artwork. Over in Dragon, we do have one of these, a couple of these actually. We've got ourselves Flapple, which is, I mean, look at it. It's Flapple doing its thing. But then we've also got Appleton by Minamine Take, who's becoming one of my favourite artists. It is a redonkulous card. It is one that I absolutely adore. We've got a pair of dragons, and they make a nice pair, and that makes me happy. Over in Colourless, we've got ourselves Braviary here, who, again, we've got a very stylised card here, one that a lot of people are going to absolutely adore. We've got Kecleon, and honestly, the colourless ones might be the most stylised here, and I am here for it. And then we got Slackoff, who is clearly just kind of having a little bit of a snooze. Just kind of chilling. And this makes me very, very happy indeed. As a fun little side note, there's only 3 of these that we don't have in English, and they are the Slackoff and Stunfist that were revealed on the Hong Kong Taiwan YouTube channel box opening, and the Larvesta, which is the only one that wasn't revealed other than them before the set came out in Japan. Basically, the 3 that weren't revealed in Japanese before the set actually released Super Electric Breaker, and the only 3 we don't have English scans of. Not a coincidence. Moving over to special illustration rares, we obviously have some supporter cards, and we have some Pokemon as well. In terms of supporter cards, the big one here is going to be Lizia's Appeal. Partly because we've got Lizia, and Lizia's very, very popular. Partly because we got Altaria, and partly because the artwork here is absolutely stunning. This is a very big card you should be looking out for. The other one that came from Paradise Dragona is Drayton, who's just in a shop looking presumably at the nutritional information on a pack of cookies. Cool. I don't think it's as good as Lizia's Appeal, but there's a certain charm to it that I quite enjoy. We're also getting Jasmine's Gaze here. Now, this is one which I thought was going to be a huge card, but over in Japan right now, that is just not the way it's actually shaking out. But it's Jasmine sitting in a cafe eating a whole bunch of lovely pastries. That is something I very much enjoy doing. And then we've also got Clement's Wit here. It's Clement, he's fixing something. I'm not sure what. I don't much care. It's rather lovely that we've got some fixing going on. In terms of Pokemon, the big one from Paradise Dragona is your Latias EX. This is a gigantic card, and it gives free retreat to all of your basic Pokemon. It sees a huge amount of play, and it's got lovely artwork, and it makes a pair with the Latios, this is going to be one of the most sought after cards in the set. But the most sought after is obviously going to be Pikachu. Early signs, like I told you yesterday, are that it's not set in a metagame of light, but it is already starting to increase in play, so maybe that can change, but it's still a special illustration rare Pikachu, let's not be silly. We've also got ourselves an Archaladon here, and yeah, Archaladon, this doesn't look like a special illustration rare to me. It's actually a decently playable card, but there's something about the artwork here that does not jump out to me, I'm sorry. Unlike the Milotic here is a very big deal. Like I say, it makes a pair with the Feebas, it's a stunning card, and it's immune to damage and effects from Terra Pokemon. So it's another card which should actually be seeing a lot of play, which is honestly kind of awesome. Then we got ourselves a Alolan Executor. Like I say, it makes a pair with the Execute. Lots of paired cards in this set. And this is just a really nice piece of art. It's always fun seeing how artists are going to deal with the height of a Alolan Executor to be able to actually fit them on the card. Seems like we got a nice one coming in here. We've got ourselves Hydreigon. Now, the Hydreigon is one that I absolutely adore. A lot of potential here as well, doing 200 for 2 energy and then trashing the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck, or discarding, and then 4 energy, 130 to the active and 2 bench. I'm just saying there's a lot of potential. But mostly here, it is the artwork by Akira Igawa here. It is absolutely stunning. So this is very much on my list of cards I am desperate to pick up because the artwork is absolutely amazing. And then we finish off with Durant. Now, Durant's an interesting one to me here because partly I didn't really want a Durant. I'm just putting that out there. Don't want to be rude. But it also makes an infinite line. The card matches up with the card on both sides. So essentially, you can just get as many of these as you like and line them all up and make an infinite line of special illustration rare Durant. And I just think that's lovely. So there we go, all of the illustration rares and all of the special illustration rares, which are going to be coming along in Surging Sparks. Pre-releases start this weekend. We've not got very long we need to wait for this set, and I, for one, am very excited. So now it's over to you guys. Tell me which cards from this set you are looking to be picking up. Tell me which ones you're incredibly excited about. Tell me which ones you're going to be playing. Tell me anything you want to tell me in the comment section. Get us! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. And get shoutouts on the channel, like the lovely Dojo, who's been a supporter of ours for a while now, and is a very lovely person. So shout out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.